the table. So on is the preposition there, and on where? The table. Now the table is the object of preposition, as in I am telling that the notebook is on the object of preposition, that is table. So always a preposition needs an object, because if I tell the car is in, that means what? But if I tell the car is in the garage, that means the car is in the garage. The object of preposition in is the preposition. This on, in, at, for, to, or with, beside, all these things are prepositions. All right. So prepositions are those kind of words, like on is on the table, is in winter, or for America. All these things are called prepositions. All these for, to, of, with, all these words are prepositions. Okay, so there are different kinds of prepositions. Why we have to learn different kinds of preposition is that only if we learn the kinds of preposition, then only we'll be able to understand the context of the sentence and proceed further accordingly. Like if only I understand if this preposition means something related to time or something related to place, then only I can use them accordingly. And prepositions, the problem with preposition is that it is confusing. Okay, and we Indians use it in a very, like, we have a discretionary power over it. We use it wrongly only. For example, if I am talking like I prefer tea, a lot of people tell I prefer tea than coffee. Than coffee. See, than is not the preposition there. I prefer tea to coffee. Again, similarly to yesterday, I was teaching you guys senior to. It is always senior to. A lot of people use senior than you. I'm senior than you. All right. So all these prepositions, it is a little confusing. And in sentences, they'll give a moderately long sentence and you will run for the errors of nouns, pronouns, articles, subject, verb, agreement, all these stuff, while a small preposition might be the error. Okay, for example, they'll give a long sentence and they'll give between 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. So you will read the sentence, you'll feel like sentence isn't clear, and you will run for other error, while between 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. is wrong. It is always between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Between Kerala and Karnataka. Between comes with and. See, these are the small things that you guys miss out in prepositions. That is why it is important to rule out the confusion first and then to learn the correct usage. Okay, now that's done. Now, preposition of time. Preposition of time, as the name tells, the prepositions used to bring out the relation between the object of preposition and time. If I tell at 7:30, okay, I go to school at 7:30 a.m. every day. At. So at is the preposition of time. Now, a common confusion is among at, in, on, and by. At, in, on, by. Where and all to use these 4 words. Okay, at. Now, if I'm talking about at is like a specific point, a particular point on clock. At 7:30 a.m. I'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the evening. Okay, a definite point of time at something. At is like a definite point of time, a particular point on clock. I'll see you at 5 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, so that is at, definite point. Now, in, if I talk about in, that is the widest time period in a specific time. Like in the evening. Now, evening might be from 3 to 6, 4 to 6, whatever be it. I'm not specifying the time. I'm giving a time period, a widest possibility of a specific time period. Okay, in the evening, in the morning, in winter. Okay, so winter, I'm specifying the whole winter. Okay, in summer. So the widest possibility of a specific time, that is in the evening, in the morning. Now, in morning is not specified till this time to this time. If you wake up at 4 o'clock, that is morning. If you wake up at 9 o'clock, that is morning, right? So morning is the widest possibility of a specific time period, and for that we use in the evening. All right, in the morning, in winter, in summer, all these things are in. But exception, as UPSC likes it, exception is at noon. Okay, it is never in noon, it is at noon. Okay, just noon. Just noon. In afternoon, it's fine. In afternoon, fine. But noon, when you use it, noon, that is at noon. Okay, that's the only exception. Okay, keep this in mind. While we tell in evening, in morning, in all these things, it is always at noon. Okay, that is there. Now, where to use on? See, on is when I talk about a day or a date. Okay, on 8th November 1988, on Thursday, on Tuesday, on this day. Okay, all these things are on. And one more thing, we do not use on tomorrow or on yesterday. No, I went there yesterday. Okay, I will talk to you tomorrow. That's fine. I will talk to you on tomorrow. I went there on yesterday. Wrong. Even though I'm specifying a day, we do not use on with that. Okay, but when we specify other days and dates, on Tuesday, on Thursday, okay, on 8th November 1988, all these things we use on. With days and dates we use on. Now by, see, when I tell by, it is the latest possible time. See, when I tell you guys submit it by next week, okay, submit it by next week, that means you have time to submit it until next week, but before next week ends. Okay, so until next week, like this stretch it time until next week, but before next week ends. If you submit it today, fine, tomorrow, fine, no problem, but until the next week ends, it should be here on my table. That is by the latest time to finish something. Okay, the latest possible time to finish that thing. By, we have to finish this portion by tomorrow. That means if we finish it today, fine and well, but before tomorrow ends, this thing should be completed. Okay, by, we'll have tea break by 4 p.m. By 4 p.m. is like latest possible time is 4 p.m. If you have it at 3 o'clock, fine. But before 4, we will have tea break by 4 p.m. around. Okay, so that is there. So this is the difference between at, in, on, and by. At, in, on, and by. Okay, this is the difference. One more thing. One day I was taking class and the student was asking me, what is the difference between in time and on time? In time and on time. See, in time is like when it is early enough, like not late. For example, if I tell, I got there in time. Okay, I got there in time is like it is early enough, not late. Okay, that means if I got there in time, like in time for some event which is assumed to be known. Okay, in time. Or passengers made it in time. That means it is early enough, not late. It is a good timing, in time. Okay, but when I tell on time is like punctually. If something happens according to the schedule, punctually, deadline, on time. But I got there on time. That means before the deadline time, just done that time, on time. Okay, very punctually on that time, like the particularly designated time. Right, the train is scheduled to arrive on time at 13:30. Okay, the train is scheduled to arrive on time. So that is a punctuality according to the schedule before on at that particularly designated time, on time. Okay, in time and on time is this difference are very small. It's like very small difference, but there is difference. In time, I reached in time. That is like early enough, not late. Okay, but on time is like that particular according to the schedule, that according to the deadline, the particularly designated time. Yes, officers are always on time, right? Very good example, Faisal. Good. Officers are always on time. Great. So that is there. Okay, so this is the preposition of time, one portion. Now, one more is there, one more confusing pair is there. See, what is the difference? Sorry, where we use for and where we use from. Okay, when I tell I've been working in the company for the last 10 years, for the last 10 years, that means it is a prolonged time period. For how long something has been happening. Okay, for the last 10 years. You have been doing this to me for the last 2 years. Okay, that is like the time period. We have been studying together for the last 5 years. Okay, that is like how long for something. For is like a time period. Okay, but from is like the starting time of an action. From 2nd May. All right, from tomorrow. What you guys do? I'll study from tomorrow. So from tomorrow. So tomorrow is your starting point inside your mind, right? So from tomorrow, or from this started from yesterday. Okay, so from is like a starting point, be it in past or future or present, but it is the starting point. From. Now you guys will ask me, what is the difference between from and since? Right, since is also a starting point. From this thing, since this time, right? From and since. The difference is that since is only used in perfect and perfect continuous tenses. When we'll again revise tenses, I'll tell you, but since is used only in present and perfect and perfect continuous tenses, whereas from is used with all the in all the tenses. Okay, so from is always a starting point. No matter if it started in the past or present or is going to happen in the future, it is the starting point from. Okay, but for is like how long? For last 10 years. This is going to last for 10 years. So that is in the future. This for or from, it is not about the past tense only. It is about how long or the starting point. It both for and from can be from past, present or future, doesn't matter, but this is the difference. Prolonged time period we use for, and starting point of an action we use from, and I've told you guys where to use from and since. Okay, so that is there. So now we were dealing with preposition of time. Is it clear? These are all the confusing pairs. Okay, is it clear, everyone? May I get a yes or no? Is it clear? We use since when we do not know specific time. We use since even if we know specific time. Who was telling that? I'm sorry. Yes, Pratap Singh, we do tell like since 3 years. I've been doing this since 3 years, right? Or we do tell it is a starting point, but it depends on the tenses. Okay, it depends on the tense. Since morning we tell. All right, but the sentence must be in perfect. Okay, I've been taking classes since morning. Okay, I have been taking classes. So it's like perfect continuous. All right, yes. So I hope it is clear for you guys. And if you guys have any doubt, please ask. Okay, okay. If I know, I'll clear it now and here and now, but if I do not, I'll check and I'll let you know. Okay, okay. Now preposition, not necessarily, Pratap Singh. I can tell I've been seeing this from a long time. I've been suffering this from a long time. I can tell like that too. Okay. All right. So preposition of place. Now we are dealing with preposition of time. Now in a sentence, if the preposition is used to bring out the relation between object, noun and another word denoting place. For example, see, if I use at some place, in some place, okay, over or between or among, beside, all these things are preposition of place, right? And okay, see, let me give you guys an example. um a place in Pune, Aundh. Okay. Now, if I'm talking about Aundh, it's a relatively bigger area. All right. And consider about your colony. All right. Or the residential area you are living. Okay. That is an exact point. Your the residential area you are in, that is an exact area, right? Exact point. That is a relatively smaller place when compared to Aundh. So when someone asks you, okay, where do you live? You will tell, I live at your residential area name, right? At this place. Okay, your colony name or your residential, that name. I live at. So that's like an exact point, a relatively smaller place, right? But when you tell, I live in Aundh, I use in. Why? Because that's more like a bigger area. Okay, I live in Pune. Or if you ask me, I live in Kerala. Okay, so that is the difference between at and in. At is more like a, when I'm talking about an exact point or a relatively smaller place, whereas in is for a bigger place. Okay, this is the difference when you talk about. But if I'm talking like relatively, if I'm talking, then you can tell I live at Aundh and I live in Pune. These are all relative. Okay, but in a sentence, on your for your exam, they'll give mostly like a state or those kind of places. So no worries. But this is the idea. At is for a exact point, relatively smaller place, whereas in is for a big area. See this example. Sheila lives at Mukherjee Nagar. Mukherjee Nagar is a place in Delhi. All right, so that is at. Now I'm giving the exact point where Mukherjee Nagar. All right, but when I tell Sheila lives in Delhi, see, this is one and same thing. Here she has given little more details, right? It's an exact point, but in Delhi, that means the big area. So I use in. So at and in differs like this when we talk about the place. Now I've told you guys how in, at, on, by differs when we talk about it as a preposition of time. In here it is preposition of place. Okay. Now the second confusing thing is where to use between and where to use among. See, between, as I've taught you guys, for each other and one another. All right, each other is for two people or things, whereas one another is for a group of people. Similarly, between is for two people or two things, between this guy and that guy, between Kerala and Karnataka, between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. Okay, the manager will be available in his cabin between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. It is never between 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. I am stressing this again and again because this was a previous year question. Okay, it was a moderately long sentence, and those people gave the question as a long sentence. I don't remember the sentence, but towards the end, it was between 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. And while everyone was looking over for articles, nouns, pronouns, subject, verb, agreement, a lot of people put no error as well. But when you tell time or anything, between is always with for two people. So between this and that, between two people, between Saroj and Prajakta, between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m., between Kerala and Karnataka. Okay, so and between. Now among is for more than two people or things. All right, among is for more than two people or things. Among the doctors, okay, among the people, among the pupils, all these things among. Why? Because it is more than two people or two things, among. So this is basically the difference between and among. Okay, I can never tell the competition was among Saroj and Prajakta. Wrong. Okay, among Saroj and Prajakta is wrong. Between Saroj and Prajakta, because I'm talking about two people, Saroj and Prajakta now. Among is for a group of people. Among the doctors. So that is for a group of people. Now where to use amongst? Same context, but say, I'll give you guys an example. We fight amongst ourselves. Now the word after amongst is ourselves. Starts with a vowel sound. Ourselves. Right? If it starts with a vowel sound, then we use amongst. But we tell, we fight, they fought among themselves. Among themselves. Why? Because after among, the word themselves has started with themselves. Okay, that's a consonant sound. So we used among. The words coming after, if the word coming after among starts with a vowel sound, then we use amongst. Amongst ourselves. Okay, but if it is starting with a consonant sound, then we use among themselves, amongst ourselves. Okay, this is basically the difference. All right, so this is there. Now one more point was there. Yes, beside and besides. Say beside is a preposition of place. Beside means what? Like adjacent to. He sat beside me. He sat beside me is like he sat adjacent to me. Okay, beside me. That's a preposition of place. But besides, that is another word. Beside is different. Besides is different. Beside is a preposition of place. Beside me. He sat beside me. Okay, but besides is another word. It's not a preposition. Besides is like apart from. Like besides the students, teachers were also present. Okay, besides the students, teachers were also present. That means apart from the students, teachers were also present despite, apart from. Okay, so besides, that is besides. Beside is adjacent. That is a preposition of place. Why I'm telling you this is that again they'll give a moderately long sentence and it will be, everything will be fine and well, but it will be besides. And in your exam stress and in the flare of sentence, you will miss this besides. Such small difference. I cannot blame you guys. Okay, so that is why I'm telling this. I'm emphasizing on this. Okay, beside and besides. Besides is like apart from. Besides the students, teachers were also present in the function. So this is one thing. Okay, preposition of place. Okay. Now preposition of direction or movement. Preposition of direction or movement. As the name suggests, if I'm talking about a movement, like I go to school every day. I go to school every day. That means I am talking about the movement of me, of myself from my home to school. That is to. I go to school every day. That's a movement. Okay, now a lot of people again have confusion where to use to and where to use towards. Okay, see, to, as I've told you, it's movement from one place to another. Okay, I go to school every day. So from my home to school, I reach school. I reach school every day. That's a movement from my home to school. I go to school. But towards is a pointer. When I want to talk about the movement at a particular direction, I walked towards the church. Okay, does that mean I'm in the church? No, that means I am walking towards the direction of church. I'm walking towards the church. I am walking towards the class. Okay, I'm running towards my home. Okay, so towards is more like a directional movement. A directional movement is towards, whereas plane movement from here to here, that is to. Okay, so to and towards have two different contexts. Very small demarcation is there, but still it is different. Okay, to is something else and towards is something else. And one more thing, if you have any doubt while I explain all these things, please ask right away. Okay, right away. Because it is confusing, I get it. It is simple, but when you think of sentences on your own, you will find it difficult. Okay, because I was also a student and I know. So if you have any doubts, please do ask me. Okay, yes, so to and towards is this thing. Now okay, so to and towards this thing. Now again, the difference between in and into. In and into, where to use in and where to use into. Okay, see, I'm talking about this dot. Okay, in is like located inside, located within, in the classroom. Okay, in the pouch or in the bag. In bag, in is like inside, within. Okay, in classroom, in bedroom, whatever be it. In is like located inside, located within. All right, whereas into is more like an insertion, an entry. Okay, this is the meaning of into. I walked into the classroom. I jumped into the river. I never tell I jump in the river, into the river. Okay, I walked into the classroom. That is the, again it is a directional. It's like insertion, entry. Okay, that is into. So there is a difference between in and into. Keep this in mind. Okay, keep, at least keep this what I drew, not a big drawer, but keep this thing in mind. Okay, in and into. All right, so in is a located within, in the classroom. Inside is, into is like entry, insertion into the water or into the classroom, into the theater. Okay, into, that is movement inside something, movement. Okay, okay, yes, Pratap Singh, right. Okay, so that is one thing. Till here were the important this thing. Preposition. Now these are all our type of prepositions. You just have to read it and leave. Now preposition of instrument or device. That means by means of what? Okay, by, with, by means of. This is an instrument or device. A long journey by bus. Okay, how did you travel? By bus. By bus. A long journey by bus. Okay, so by is the preposition of instrument or device. By means of what? Okay, I write with a pen. With, that is By means of what? A pen. I write with a pen. So that is preposition of instrument or device. By, with, by means of, all these things are preposition of instrument or device. Okay. Yes. Now preposition of reason or purpose. Reason is like what? If I tell I couldn't reach on time because of the rain. Okay, that's a reason. Okay, why you could not reach? Because of the rain. Because. So because is the preposition of reason. Because of the rain. Okay, now purpose. Purpose is like to what? Like I have bought the stationery for the project work. For. Now why you have bought the stationery? For what purpose? For the project work. For. That is a purpose of doing something. So I have bought the stationery for the project work. Okay, so this is another thing. So reason and purpose. Because, for. Again, one more thing. For we can use it to indicate goal. Okay, goal or destination. He is leaving for America. Okay, he is leaving. 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 Okay, he is leaving for America. For America. That is a destination. America is a destination for America. Okay, he is doing this for his ambition. Okay, for, that is a goal, his ambition, whatever be it a career, be it anything, be it his passion, anything. So that's a goal for something. Okay, or destination as well, for America. Okay, that is there. For what Pratap saying? Arrived? Okay. No, arrived for America is wrong. Arrived in America. You can only arrive like if you are coming to Kerala. So in here, the board will be arrival. You are arriving in here, right? From your place, you are arriving, you are coming here. And from here, you are departing, departure. Okay, from here, if you have to go to Maharashtra, it will be, the board will be departure. All right. Okay. All right. So that is there. Small doubts, just clear it right away so that it will be beneficial for your exam. Because if you are not, competent enough in day-to-day, everyday English, then it's very hard. Okay. So no, I'm not talking about you, Pratap Singh. It's good that whatever doubt you have, just shoot it right away. Because if you do not know a thing, it's never a shame to ask, because you did not know it and you have the courage to ask. What if you felt like, what if ma'am feels like I'm stupid or something of my classmates? No, at least you had the courage to ask. That is the thing. Okay, that's a very good thing. If you do not know a thing, do not be ashamed at all. Everyone, I'm telling to everyone, if you do not know a thing, do not be ashamed of yourself. Have the courage to stand up and ask what it is. Okay, start with small things. All right, because you're going to be officers, start with small things. It will go a long way. All right. Okay, so that is the thing. Now for rules, we have to study. Okay, tomorrow we'll finish that. I hope everything is clear. All right. And guys who asked the doubt, I'm really grateful to you, because a lot of people would have the same doubt in mind, but they would not ask. But people who ask it, I'm really grateful to you guys. And I hope it is clear. Everything was clear about today. Okay, I hope you guys take screenshot or whatever, but I hope all these things has to be in your mind. Okay, for exam. This is very important. All right. Okay, so that's it for the day. Thank you so much for being here, gentlemen. Just give me a moment. Let me take the attendance. Give me a moment. I'm sorry, I forgot to take the attendance. Do not flinch, please, everyone. All right. That's it for the day. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Jai Hind.